Deputy Speaker, sir, I rise in support of Budget 2019 with its focus on building a strong, united Singapore. We are a small country in an uncertain world. Developments in the US, China, and Europe had contributed to high levels of uncertainty in the past, and will continue to do so in the foreseeable future. This will not go away. In the face of such headwinds, Singaporeans will have to stay strong and united. We must be committed to solving our own problems and helping our own communities, something which this budget aims to achieve. We must rally behind our leaders who will take us into a new Singapore era, one that our children and grandchildren will be proud of. Many plans and schemes had already been in place. The oft-heard ones include those relating to artificial intelligence, AI, intelligent automation, IA, technology, manpower, digitalization, innovation, and globalization. The wheels have been set in motion. To many Singaporeans, though, these schemes appear to be piecemeal. More can be done to highlight the vision for Singapore and strengthen the connections so that we can understand how all these schemes can together shape a new future and set us a common goal. Driven by the rapid pace of technological advances, which radically change processes and operations, many sectors are undergoing developments and changes of seismic proportions. These are critical for companies' survival, to catch up with their peers, or seize opportunities to be market leaders. To automate and digitize is also to overcome the manpower challenges arising from the reduction in the dependency ratio ceilings, DRC, which are expected to put an upward pressure on labor costs for companies in the services-related industry. We still hear businesses from the service sectors feedback that many of their processes cannot be automated. The challenge is how we can successfully harness AI and IA to help these companies. Would the Minister elaborate on how successful the industry transformation maps and the lean enterprise development schemes have been in assisting companies redesign jobs and reduce reliance on manpower? Some businesses find these restructuring steps troublesome, even counterproductive, as the time and resources required may temporarily distract them from their day-to-day operations. While they appreciate the short-term sacrifices they have to make for long-term gains, and they see the need to redesign and upgrade the types of jobs to cater to a more educated, aging workforce who wants to work longer in more meaningful work, they need all possible assistance to effect these changes. Hence, I fully support the government's decision to expand the Industry Digital Plans, IDPs, for SMEs and to extend the Automation Support Package, ASP, by 2 years. I would like to call for IDPs to be expanded to more sectors expeditiously. Does the government have a timeline for the implementation of IDPs for the remaining sectors? For the 7 industries where IDPs had already been rolled out, would the Minister share an update on the adoption rate of each industry so far? For companies which have yet to implement digital plans, what are the main obstacles? What measures do we have in place to help them surmount these challenges? The 7 industries were prioritized as their expected productivity gains will be the highest. May I ask if the actual gains have matched expectations? If not, what are the issues involved? As for the ASP, I would like to ask if the amount budgeted to assist companies to scale up their automation projects had been fully utilized each year since it was launched in 2016. How many SMEs has ASP helped and in which sectors? Do our SMEs have enough awareness about this scheme and the necessary talents and specialists to implement the transformations? Would the Ministry share with us some of the successful cases and those which has not turned out as well? What are the lessons learned from those which have performed below expectations? These are important questions, as we need to know how to better help these SMEs leverage on technology to move ahead. Deputy Speaker, sir, in Mandarin. 接下来，我想谈谈善意的政府政策偶尔会产生意想不到的后果。就拿雇用年长员工为例子，我们会经常看到年迈的长辈在我们的小贩中心、食阁和商场清理桌子和拖地。 这些年长国人多数是没有受过太多教育的非技术工人，因此他们能从事的工作行业是有限的。由于政府提供就业入息补助金，以鼓励公司雇用上了年纪的员工，公司愿意聘请他们，因为付出的薪酬比较低。此外，雇用这些新加坡公民，也让公司在客工比率顶线下，有权雇佣更多的外国工人。随着客工比率顶线的紧缩，企业可能会雇佣更多的年长者，让他们做简单的清洁工作，以便雇佣更多和更高熟练技术的外国工人。这也会降低企业实现自动化的动力。一方面，就业入息补助金也许增加了年长员工的雇用；另一方面，老人做劳力的工作引起关注。看到这些老人弯着腰、吃力地走动，真让人感到心疼。工作似乎并不繁重，但一些年龄较大的工人体弱，明显疲惫。这些情景让许多新加坡人和游客自问：为什么我们的政府没有照顾这些可怜的年迈公民？有人评论说，贫穷的新加坡人必须工作到死为止等等。虽然这不正确反映我国的现实，但评论的确存在。虽然有一些乐龄人士可能说是为了打发时间而工作，由于这些工作的劳力性质，大多数人对此都存有顾虑和保留。我们也必须扪心自问，当我们的孩子看到体弱的老人在他们周边打扫、清理桌子和在厕所拖地板时，他们对我们这个社会会有什么样的看法？或许我们现在应该重新审视这些政策所产生的影响。In line with the government's targeted mode, I move on to assistance for workers with low CPF balances. In line with the government's targeted mode to help the most vulnerable, I would like to reiterate my call for more help for Singaporeans with low CPF balances, such as the group with balances below the basic retirement sum, through higher tiered CPF interest rates. This is in addition to the current budget top-up of $300 to $1,000 for older Singaporeans with low CPF balances, and from time to time when we have surpluses. The consistent returns from the higher interest rates will be of greater help to this group of Singaporeans, many of whom are likely to be freelancers, self-employed, or low-wage workers. Allow me to elaborate. On the first 60,000 of a CPF member's combined balances, with up to 20,000 from the ordinary account OA, an extra 1% interest is paid. Since January 2016, CPF members aged 55 and above will also earn an additional 1% extra interest on the first 30,000 of their combined balances, including up to 20,000 from the OA. This extra interest apply on the first 60,000 and first 30,000 respectively, regardless if one has combined CPF savings of 60,000 or 600,000. I hope the government will consider increasing the additional interest for those who have low combined CPF balances, for example, below the basic retirement sum, to help them earn more in their accounts. If the funding of this means that we have to reduce or even remove the extra interest on the first 60,000 or 30,000 respectively for those with much higher CPF balances, I believe that financially secured Singaporeans will be willing to support this assistance measure. Finally, I would like to appeal for greater efforts to boost Singapore's food resilience. We should step up priority and urgency to scale up food production through both the lease or acquisition of farmland overseas and the adoption of innovative processes. Besides requiring support and investment from both the public and private sectors, we have to encourage Singaporeans and residents to join in our Buy Singapore movement and help to buy local produce. Initially, buying local may mean paying a higher price, But we must continue to support local suppliers and vendors so that when volume picks up, prices will drop correspondingly. Buy Singapore will not only help ensure the sustainability of producing local food, but also to reduce our carbon footprints, contributing to environmental sustainability. By supporting our Singapore food producers and companies, eventually they'll be able to scale up and go regional or go global. With the global pivot to Asia, now the fastest growing region in the world, the time is right for Singapore companies to tap into new opportunities and new markets. We need to work together to achieve that. I would like to conclude with my support for the budget. Thank you.